Attention, please. This is your official civil defense broadcaster.
The greatest threats would be radioactive fallout.
Uranium fever.
Where fallout is heaviest, it can even kill those who have not taken proper shelter.
Broadcasting deep underground in a questionably constructed survivalist bunker is Dave Chaffins and Kenneth Vigue, and your host, as always, Mr. Robots. This episode of the Fallout Hub is brought to you by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Open enrollment for advanced robotics courses starts now. Totally nothing sketchy going on. Nope, not at all.
Wastelanders, Vault Dwellers, I messed up that word.
Let's try this again.
I woke up yesterday with a cold, so I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm not talking to you. Echo, Alexa, stop. All right. Welcome to the Fallout Hub. This is the best intro I've ever done. I'm your host, Tom or Robots, and I'm here with Dave Chaffins from the internet. How you doing, Dave?
Dave
I'm doing
from the
well
internet.
For all of our fart dwellers. Is that what you said? Fart dwellers?
Our vaults doors. Welcome. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Oh goodness, we're in for a doozy today, gentlemen. We're in for a doozy.
Yeah, man.
We're all high on the quill.
Yeah. I'm a little high on the quill. If I pass out during this, then just keep going without me. And then we've got Ken. Ken, also from the internet. Ken, I have you're the man in the sheets, right? And that's the title we go by. The man on the street. Oh, that's it. That's the other one. How you doing, bud?
Yes.
How's it going?
Good. Sure.
Everyone's gonna be like, hey, you know that one Fallout Hub episode where Tom is like high on something? Yeah. So
there'll be all sorts of conspiracy theories. Like, did Tom reveal something?
Right.
I hope you know. I want everybody to know that's listening to the podcast. Before we started, Tom was like, "I'm going to try my best not to do very much talking." And here's the thing: we've already gotten like maybe 2 minutes into this, and I can tell you this much: Tom needs to do more talking.
Yes, I will do all the talking on this episode, and it will be 15 minutes long. But welcome. I'm toughing through it. I don't have the vid. I don't have the strep. I just have a common cold, which is super weird because I haven't had a common cold in forever because I haven't gone anywhere, and when I have, I've been wearing a mask. So it's just kind of weird to have picked up a common cold. Like, who even gets those anymore?
The common cold is so 2019, Tom. Get with it, for Christ's sakes.
I know, right? But hey, we're back, and we're going to talk about some cool Fallout stuff because we love the Fallout. You love the Fallout. I love the Fallout. These guys love the Fallout.
Everybody gets a Fallout.
Everyone gets a Fallout. And we've got, man, they just, what was it, like a week and a half ago? They're like, oh, by the way, this is what the next update's going to be, and you could try it out on the PTS, and now you can just do whatever you want with your own servers and just go crazy, just build things everywhere, or, change the settings. And so we're going to talk about that and some other stuff. Guys, we haven't talked about this very much. Have either of you given it a try on the PTS?
I have not. I will say that I have not given it a try on the PTS because I own a MacBook. And it doesn't work with the MacBook. But I have I have everything else. So I've not tried it, but I have looked at it. But I will now defer my time to the chair known as Ken.
Yeah, no surprise, Kennethy.
I've spent a lot of time in custom worlds. There's essentially two new things that we're getting. So Nuclear Winter is going away in September when we get this awesome new mode. And
everybody press F. Everyone F.
The way let's get an F for Nuclear Winter. There's going to be a public world that's going to rotate through a different crazy scenario on a monthly basis.
I love this.
I do too, because it creates the idea, like when Todd Howard was first talking about the concept of nuclear winter, he talked about seasons being something that they could maybe do. This keeps what that is kind of in spirit, because they have planned already 4 different monthly seasons. One is a happy builder, so there'll be a month where there's no camp placement restrictions, relaxed building restrictions, all map locations are discovered, PvP is completely disabled. Mind you, anything you do in that world, it's only good for that month. And then the next month it changes to something else. Ironically, if they do these in order, October will bring us Dweller Must Die, in which there's reduced damage dealt by players, increased damage received, increased enemy difficulty, and dark bog weather effects. So it's just like everything is going to kill you Resident Evil mode, which is going to be kind of cool.
I love that. I love the creepy side of the Fallout stuff. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, Butcher's Delight, infinite ammo, no EP costs from combat, enhanced dismemberment. Quantum World is the first one that I tried, and it was insane. The jump height was really exaggerated, so you're just completely yeeting around. There's no fall damage, and all of the creatures that you're battling are nuked creatures, and they had like a quantum storm effect. And then the last one, we'll see kind of a return to a PvP survival mode, where there's a high risk, so fast travel will be disabled for a month. PvP is always on, and players will drop additional loot upon death. So it'll be a fun month of just nonsense fighting, if that's what you're into.
All right. So quick answers. You didn't realize it, but you're now in a game show. Quick answers only. What mode would you make up if you can make up a mode? Go, Dave.
What mode would I make up? Big city mode, where everyone has to build in a particular city, unlimited build budget. You cannot leave the city. PvP is on.
Oh, next. So this is like Escape from Los Angeles.
Yeah, like if you just okay, we're only gonna do Watoga. You can only build in Watoga. You can build whatever you want. We're gonna make the players like, like 8 player. I don't know. We're gonna make the players 1 player. I'm just kidding.
Just like Fortnite.
And everybody just builds. Yeah, kind of. It's just like a city, but you're just expanding the city. And then over the course of the month, the city grows. And
cool. I like it. Ken, go.
How can I follow that up? That's a good one.
Just the first thing that comes out of your head or your butt. But like the expression, like you pull it out of your butt.
He understands what a butt is.
You know what a butt is?
Yes.
You've seen a butt.
Oh, I've seen them.
Do you like butts? Are you a butt guy? Are you into butts? Some guys are butt guys.
For a custom world, what I'd be looking for, Tom. I think it would be interesting to do like a survival nightmare mode. So with a noir filter, the black and white filter, and then you do increased damage, and they do increased damage to you with greater spawn rate. Kind of like almost like role-playing Night of the Living Dead. That might be kind of fun.
Yeah. So I got an idea. Here's my turn. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids mode, where all of the players are reduced to like 1/6 the size, but all the monsters and things are all the same regular size they are, but your weapons still do the same amount of damage.
That would be terrifying.
That would be great.
And
that
also
would be super cool.
It would make you feel like you're grounded.
Yeah, grounded mode. All right. Round 2. Another idea. Dave.
Okay. Oh, another idea. Okay, here's my other idea. Ghoul mode. Everyone doesn't have weapons. Everyone is mutated. Everyone has all of the mutations. Everyone has like radiation damage down to 75%. And then you like are locked into a particular area and everybody just is ghouling on each other, just like not like a sentient ghoul, like a feral ghoul.
Everyone's just ghouling, man.
It's just this cute. Doc J is a ghouling, you know what I mean?
Ghouling, man. Let us just ghoul. We just want to ghoul.
Mm-hmm. Ken, another idea.
Well, if you can do miniature people, like it can be anything, not what we can do now.
Yeah, just make stuff up.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they could add that stuff in the future. Maybe there's like a scale option in the code somewhere.
I would like Apocalypse Meow, where cats just keep spawning until like they fill up the entire world, and you're just trying to get away from all the cats.
Oh, nice, nice. All right, I want.
And then you turn on the radio, and then it's that song that's like, "I love cats. I love every kind of cat. I just want to hug them all, but I can't."
Is that a real song?
Every cat. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you should look it up. That's like old YouTube days. That's like 2012.
Wow, I don't know that
old.
One.
Yeah,
that's not that old. But
should look it up.
Okay, my last idea: Left 4 Dead mode, where all of the monsters are ghouls, and they all rush at you in waves. And you start in one location on the map, and you have to get to another location on the map, and you just have to survive and get there. You start with you and 3 friends. You spawn in. You just got to get across the map. Waves come at you, and on occasion, bigger enemies spawn in, like Deathclaws or Sheepsquatch, or eventually maybe you even get an Earl or something on your way to that other part of the map, and you just try to survive.
I like that. I like that a whole lot.
What about a world where every time you die, you become a different creature in the world?
Whoa.
Like you die and all of a sudden you're a Snallygaster, like vomiting out your insides? That would be fun.
I mean, that's kind of like existential, you know? That's kind of like, it's like rebirth. It's like, how good was I in this life? It was like good enough to be like a Radroach or a Snallygaster, you know?
Yeah. Is a Radroach really a good creature?
It's like up to discerning people.
Well, it depends on the reincarnation scale. I think it's pretty low.
What's the Fallout reincarnation scale?
I think it starts at Radroach. Like Radroach is like, if you get reincarnated as a Radroach, then you are a terrible person, and you should feel bad about yourself. But you can't anymore because you're a Radroach, and Radroaches don't have feelings. Here's my other thought: is beast combat mode, where you can spawn in 2 different monsters or 2 different sets of monster teams, and then they fight each other. They just aggro towards each other. So like Dave and I could play, and I'd be on like blue team and he'd be on red team. And then we both would get a certain amount of points, and each monster would be so many points. So we'd be like, okay, 1,000 points, Ghoul is 10 points, a Deathclaw is 100 points or whatever. And then we can like put in our little numbers to pick out teams. And then we say spawn, and then it spawns in the monsters and they all fight. Then we see who wins.
Morechu, I choose you.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. DMCA takedown strike.
Oh no!
Fallout.
Oh no! My Scorch Beast is turning into a Scorch Beast Queen. It's evolving.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are all
Team
our
Raider
ideas,
blasting off again.
Oh, I got one more. I got one more.
Oh, you got one more? Okay.
Yeah, I got one more. Christmas mode. Coming in Christmas. The whole map is blanketed in snow. The Scorched are everywhere, and they're all the Christmas variant. And what you got to do is go for a sleigh ride. And so that's when you get the tambo with the bells, and you just start hitting them. And then the more jingles you bring to your life. I don't know how many puns I can do Christmas-wise, but we're getting there. You get the idea. I don't have to say anymore.
I get it. I like it.
Have you been watching Nosferatu?
Yeah, pretty much. I consume the most morbid media, and it just influences me every day. I just think about it, and I wonder how I can slay things.
So, have you been enjoying your time in these alternate Appalachians?
I have been. They're awesome in that you can get 24 people in there. Custom worlds are a different animal, though. And I think the one thing that's a little disappointing with them is they're still capped at 8. So even though in theory, when I first heard about this, I was like, this finally player-led guilds. It's not quite there yet because there's not a lot you can do with just 8 people. Like if you wanted to create your own roleplay server, with some different variables, or create like a unique event or like a Nuka Shine run or something, we're still limited to just 8, which is a little bit of a bummer. But it's at least a step in that direction. Like being able to play around with different values in custom worlds to create our own unique thing is great. There's just no way to transfer progression back and forth, or even anything that you do in those worlds you can never really carry over to adventure. So I think it's fun for maybe one-off events or streaming or creating content like that where you're creating something unique and it's less about progression anyway. Maybe they'll work on that. They've been getting a ton of feedback though. By the way, if you're listening to this and you're in the PTS, make sure to join the Bethesda Discord, because they have special channels there where you can report back PTS bugs, and also features that you're looking for, adjustments that you're looking for, and it gets voted on via a star system. So
sometimes I feel like you are the unpaid Bethesda employee.
I can't answer that question, Tom.
Oh, all right.
He's He's the unpaid secret Bethesda employee. We all know now. It's like when you go to talk to the secret agents and they're like, "Oh, what do you do for a job?" And they're like, "I work logistics. How's the weather today?" It's got to be a secret agent for Bethesda.
I have a Todd yacht. It's called a tot.
Oh, so you are paid. He pays in yachts?
No.
I did not realize that.
In yachts.
He does.
Specifically yachts. Those Marylanders, they got the crabs in their yachts. They're just like throwing everything.
If I get 5 more people to join the Discord, I get a house in the Hamptons. I'm really working on the pyramid scheme.
Wow. That's a good deal. I'm going to have to start bugging them about some compensation for some.
Do you guys any weight loss supplements or, Tupperware?
Yeah. This is gonna be another
timeshares.
So this episode is gonna spawn so many I don't know, rumor mills.
Things.
Like Tom is high, he does lots of drugs, and 2, everybody on the Fallout Hub gets paid by Bethesda, and we're gonna be like, no, it was a joke, stop.
So true story.
Believe us.
I remember after we did Bethesda Game Days, I don't know if you remember, but the conspiracy theory that was circulating on Reddit then is that all of us were paid to be there, which I thought was
the worst.
So I just said, yeah, it was great. I bought a boat, paid off our house.
If they were paying us, I would be like doing all these other shows and being like, hey, sign up for my Patreon.
That's not how this works.
Listen, I had to buy the dang Xbox for myself. I had to go out there, go to the online store, go look it up. I didn't have no Todd Howard out there doing like secret shopping for me, like I'm the little kid at Christmas that needs to get the special present that I put on a tree. None of that was happening.
None of that. So we also have other news about the Dupin. The Dupin.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Garys out there.
There's a lot of Garys. Gary.
Are you trying to make that a thing? Like you're trying to be like, we're not gonna say Dupin anymore. We're just gonna say they're Garying.
I'm really trying to make this happen.
Yeah, me too. I'm now with you. I've now joined that team.
Everyone has to stop saying duping and just say, well, it's a Gary.
It's a Gary.
It's just a Gary.
Pulled another Gary. There's a lot of Garys on the server.
Where'd you get that impossible to make gun? Are you a Gary? I think you might
be a Gary. Yeah, the servers, and there's been a lot of talk about it. The servers have been really, 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 really unstable the past few weeks. It's finally calmed down, but it's been challenging to play in public worlds the past few weeks. Private worlds, a few of them that I was in, I still got the server not responding message. At first, everyone just assumed it was this ridiculous duping spree that's been going on, that they finally addressed and then started swinging the ban hammer on people permanently, which is great.
Yes. Okay, so there was some complaint about some of the early stuff they were doing where they were just like, putting people in timeout. Nope, you can't play this game for 4 days. And everyone was like, what? Nobody's going to learn their lesson like that. You got to actually ban them.
Yeah.
So
I think the mistake now, as previously, duping would sometimes crash a few servers, but this has been so widespread that it's impacting the overall game to the point that people just are choosing not to play. Which becomes a major problem. So
that's a huge problem.
It's about ruining the experience for everybody.
Well, here's the thing. If you're playing a single player game, then crack the game as much as you want, like I don't care. I don't care if you mod it and dupe everything and just make it, so easy for yourself that it's not even worth playing anymore. That's fine. Go do that. But when you're playing a game with other human beings and the server has to actually run for other people and there has to be some level of balance, then like I don't get the mentality of like, I play a game in order to be the best. And in order to be the best, I'm not actually going to get good at it. I'm just going to like hack my way to being good. Like, what's the point of that?
Or buy your way. And part of what's fueling this is so many of these, like the RMT market for real money trading, selling items on like eBay and some of these other sites there's a lot of items on there for just ridiculous amounts of money that I couldn't imagine spending on a digital thing that I won't be able to keep for a lifetime. Like however long 76 is going to last.
Sure. There's no satisfaction in that. It's like, yeah, it feels good, but then you do it like you play for a week with this awesome OP weapon. And then you're like, well, now the game's boring. You just like screwed yourself.
I think sometimes the focus,
I remember looking up the stuff on eBay and it's saying like, it was like to get like a bloodied handmade 3-star, and this was like a year ago. It was like $100, and I'm like, okay, $100.
Yeah.
It's like that's like 2 video games, man. Come on, like that's like
right.
That's a dinner at a really nice restaurant for you and someone you love. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You're starting to get close to actual real world weapon costs.
Yeah.
You might as well just keep saving up and buy yourself a real gun.
Buy yourself a real gun, put some gold stickers on it, those little stars, and then it's legendary.
Yeah, and then just go find some ghouls and shoot them in the head, because the zombie apocalypse will eventually happen.
God damn it, NyQuil Tom.
NyQuil Tom just told us to go shoot some ghouls because the zombie apocalypse will eventually happen. Not only did he say the zombie apocalypse is going to happen, there's existing ghouls that are out there that we need to get because it's going to happen.
On a very special episode of the Fallout Hub, Dave and Ken confront Tom on his NyQuil abuse.
2 things. One, my wife works in a lab where she does experiments on mice. It messes with the genes in their brains and creates mice that don't exist in nature that have human genes in them, in the brains, so that we can test on the mice instead of humans. So one of these days, one of those mice is going to bite somebody and they're just going to turn into a zombie because they were genetically engineered weird. 2, I've been deep down the rabbit hole of some SCP stuff lately because of the thing Dave and I are working on. And yeah, maybe zombies do exist.
Here's another thought. If they're injecting human genes into the mice brains, maybe they could inject some human jorts, and then they would be really strong like John Cena and throw a chair at somebody.
Wait, like shorts?
Yeah, like jean shorts, jorts.
Jorts.
Okay, so here's the question then. How do mice wear shorts? Because they have 4 legs. Do they wear them at like their waist like a human would, or do they wear them across all 4 of their legs on like the bottom half of the mouse?
It's always their back legs, and I won't hear any other answers. Even though you think that looks funny when you see a cat or a dog that's in the 4 pair genes, you're like, oh, that's really cute. Yeah, I want that to be the case. Guess what? Not the real world. This isn't the real world.
Yeah, so banning people in
We're
Fallout.
28 minutes in and we're already into surreal fucked up territory.
This is the appeal. This is the appeal of Fallout Worlds. It could be whatever you want it to be. If you want to have a bunch of overgrown mice that are wearing jorts, you can do that. Custom worlds.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the Todd Howard E3 presentation next year. At last, you can have.
I heard you guys are into jorts. So here you
Fallout
go.
76 is taking its next dramatic expansion with mole rats in jorts.
Mm-hmm. We heard you wanted some more customization in your Starfield before it even came out. Well, now you can choose a spacesuit or jorts suit.
If you saw a guy in space wearing jorts, you'd be like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. You know?
Yeah. This guy gets the lead.
You know,
that's what I would think.
Based on the fashion cycle, we're just about ready for Janko jeans to come back.
We are. I saw somebody in public with some the other day.
I
was like,
see?
No.
No.
I was like, no. And I do live in Florida, so that may have been Florida Man himself.
You can hide like a whole other person up there.
Or two.
If you're greedy about it, Tom, sure.
I mean, you've got two legs, but you've got like two gigantic columns of denim that you can just put anything in.
Or it could be just a bunch of young children in them, like stacked on top of each other, trying to get into a rated R movie.
Probably. I mean, it's, why use a trench coat when you could just use a Jenko jeans?
That's right.
And a wife beater. All right, so
were we talking about duping, or were we talking about Fallout Worlds? I can't remember where we stopped. I think we were talking about duping.
So do you think? Okay,
we're just role playing as a server not responding right now.
Do you think we're gonna get like real banning of people duping, like the actual dupers, the dupes? Like, are we gonna get those people really kicked off?
Well, no, they'll probably come back, and they probably already have alts, but I think it's a step in the right direction, at least.
But if they have the code to be able to know when it happens, you could just keep banning them. At some point, they're just going to stop spending money on it.
Yeah.
And the thing that's crazy to me about all of this, is this isn't a competitive game. In design, this is not a competitive game.
Right.
Anybody can, and like, you can make up your own games with your friends and be competitive about that kind of stuff. But like, the hardest challenges in the game are not competitive to that level. You can go into the hardest challenges in games and do them with a good perk loadout and just a regular old level 50 gun. Like, you can go and do those things. Now, you're not going to be able to, go in there like what was it, like Lone Vault Wanderer this past weekend that was trying to get his plasma flamer down to Earl Williams' throat and trying to get like it was like what, 10 seconds to take 20 seconds.
20.
Yeah,
he actually did it. He spent like all weekend, and then finally I noticed that post. He's like, yep, I got it in like 19.6 seconds or something.
Yeah, and in fact,
right, you don't have to do that.
You guys need to check that out. So, yeah, Lone Vault Wanderer, Bethesda community manager for Australia. You should have seen him in his Discord, like trying all sorts of cocktail combinations and the right builds, like to nail this record.
Yeah, this is you know what I think this is? This is Australian sorcery. People don't talk about Australian magic very often, but I think this is a real instance of that.
Yeah, it's like, how did they make those onions bloom,
Who knows? Lone Vault Wanderer, you are a wizard, my friend. A wizard.
That's all the time we have this week.
Shut everybody else up.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah. So do we have anything else to talk about other than, it seems like basically we're all in agreement. Dupers should be named Gary and should get banned every time they do it. Like, no more duping. I feel bad for anybody who like accidentally picked up a duped thing. Like, I don't know that those people should get banned, but can't we? Okay. Ignorant question from somebody who isn't actually in game development right now.
Right.
Wouldn't it be possible? Wouldn't it be possible to just flag all of the items on all of the servers that shouldn't exist and just delete them?
That sounds good, but it seems like that is really difficult to do for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
The only way they've been able to figure this out is with Wastelanders. They've been slowly improving an anti-cheat. So when they look at these specific accounts, they can detect certain types of behavior that can then be reviewed. And it's the weird duping, crashing a server kind of thing, which is how they're able to find these people to begin with. But I think as far as purging those, I think that's harder than it sounds for some technical reason.
Yeah, it does seem like it is, and I'm just curious about that. Like,
here's my pitch that they should do. So instead of deleting them, maybe they should like curse them in some way. So they already have these like crazy weapons that do all this stuff. Maybe they should add on, be like, okay, if then statements. Let's talk programming. Like if it has these amount of attributes with this thing, which is like a common thing, then we're going to add on a 4-star effect. And every time that they take a step, they're going to lose some health.
Right. Or something even wackier happens, like wacky wasteland type stuff, right? Like it no longer
every time they
bullets.
shoot a bullet, it goes to the right.
right. Or it no longer actually shoots bullets. It's shooting junk. Like junk just comes teddy bears. It just shoots teddy bears. Yeah.
Yes.
Or the man
that would crash the server, but like.
Country Roads just keeps playing over and over and layering on itself until it's nothing but a din.
Yeah, or the sound effect that's triggered when you use the weapon it can only be heard by the person shooting it, but it's just constantly like a terrible. It's constantly the most terrible sound ever from Dumb and Dumber.
Oh no, it should be. You remember at E3 the year before they had the really excited guy in the audience who was always like, yeah, to like everything that they said. Yes. That's what the fire.
The elder memes, yeah.
It's that guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That should be the sound effect, just his yells.
I think we fixed duping. I feel like that we should now like submit. I don't know. Go to the bug sheet and be like, hey, we fixed this for you. Here's the solution. Is we just do a lot of extra work for us so that we can laugh about the people. Rather than actually fixing the problem, just do the extra work, please.
We're online discussion experts, and we've come up with a solution for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got another idea. Okay, so every time you use an illegal weapon, it spawns in a special made albino deathclaw right behind you that only attacks you and hits you and yeets you into the air like a giant in Skyrim. That would be awesome. And you know what would happen is like you'd go do the Scorchbeast Queen quest, right? Everyone's getting ready to go. Old Queenie shows up. Everyone runs in. Everyone starts shooting, and then like of the 20 people there, you see all of a sudden 3 albino deathclaws pop up, and then just 3 dudes just go eating right into the air, and everyone's like, ha, there go the Garys.
I've got an even better solution. What if every time you dupe, it corrupts your loot table? And for then on, the only thing you will ever get is white ivory grip plans and white wolf fedoras.
Yes, I like that. And it auto equips it to your character, the fedora, and you can never unequip it.
You can just use it as a shield, or maybe like throw it like a James Bond villain.
I always like that for pirated games that had if you pirated the game, it automatically detected that and it did stuff. So I think it was Alan Wake that it was like a paranormal kind of game. It would give all the players that like downloaded legally a pirate eye patch. Character. Yeah. So it would just be this like, it's kind of like this Twin Peaksy, like creepy Stephen King thing, and this like really like morose character with just this pirate eye patch on.
I do like the whole thing that some of the games will do where they only they group hackers with only other hackers. Like that could be a thing. Anybody with duped items only ever connects to servers with other people with duped items.
I like it. I'm about it.
I mean, that would be kind of interesting that if it detected it, kind of like Nuclear Winter. So if you have modified game files, whether you run mods or anything, it detects it. Be interesting if it detected modified items or items it couldn't identify in your character. You could only load into custom worlds, in which case that would just, pull people out.
Right. So then it becomes a like legitimate decision on the user. Like, get rid of this weapon if you want to play with everyone else. If you want to play nice, then bring the same weapons to the party. But otherwise, you can still play. But now you're kind of in this little gated area over here.
I like
you're in the petting zoo, essentially. It's like you can't go out to the real zoo. You're in the petting zoo.
The server should just be called the petting zoo.
And if they're custom servers, you could totally tweak things over time. Like you could just slowly make enemies more and more difficult because people have these like hacked weapons, right? And then it's like eventually you find this balance point where no matter the fact that they have like these OP weapons, now all the enemies are OP too. So they're basically still doing the same rate of damage.
I think we would be really good at managing like the realm of hell. I feel like that all of us could like collectively do that pretty well after today's discussion. Like we're not just like choosing punishment or punishing people. We're like looking at the crimes committed and thinking about how to like bring people to the point of like them choosing for themselves that they have done something wrong rather than just being like, I've been punished, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. All right. Well, I think we've solved all of those things. How are you guys feeling about the scoreboard this season? We haven't really talked about that yet.
We haven't really talked
I'm trying
about that,
to think of
I like the idea. I like the idea of telepathic dolphins and then being an army of telepathic dolphins. I feel like that's like particularly something that's like really up my alley. And when I talk about telepathic dolphins, nobody listens to me normally, but now everybody has to.
Because I have a podcast, and you're going to sit there in your car or in your house, and you're going to hear me talk about dolphins.
Take that.
Well, there's different levels of, and I'm not kidding you, I'm not joking. There's different levels of Reiki healing. Sorry, Reiki healing is like when you put your hands near somebody and you like heal their energy. But the highest levels are dolphin, dolphin Reiki healing, where dolphins apparently are so intelligent that you like swim with them and they heal your bodily energy. I'm not kidding you. This is.
It's also very rare to find dolphins with hands, so it's very hard to get.
Yeah, apparently.
They're doing the best they can, Tom. Christ.
There are people that have been doing this, but also in COVID times have been doing them over Zoom. So what they do is they go talk to the dolphin and then come back and be like, hey, dolphin said this. Maybe that'll heal your energy some. So I'm 100% down with the telepathic
I'm late for my Zoom call
world.
with a dolphin. Hey!
Yeah. Cool. Well,
don't ask me about the scoreboard anymore. I'm gonna talk about some weird stuff.
It's like, I don't have an opinion about the scoreboard, but let me tell you about dolphin Reiki. I like this scoreboard. There's been some interesting camp upgrades, which I've really been enjoying. The other cool thing about it is they started dropping new radio dramas to tie into it.
I did notice that.
Yeah. So the Katie Inkwell stories are actually becoming proper radio dramas that they're dropping, which has been kind of cool. They did a sneak peek reveal of the first part of it on Bethesda's stream last Wednesday.
You know, I feel like this is like the designer creator cycle is just coming back around again. So you have like the designers who have like in-game universe audio dramas, right, from like Fallout 4 and stuff, and then you have like the creators, like the Chad show that you do and some of these other shows, our other friends who are doing these shows, and then that influences them to go, okay, well, we should do some more, so we're gonna do, like, it's just creating this cycle of like, everybody loves these, let's just keep making them.
Yeah, I really wish, like, even the original ones that they did at launch with the Tales from the West Virginia Hills, those are so well done. I don't know why they're only on holotapes and not actually added to the station rotation so you can listen to them over the radio. But
yeah,
like, it'd be awesome
cool.
to have more of these introduced to break up the monotonous song playing.
Its own like radio station.
Yeah. Or even just mixed in a little more.
I think in general, speaking of Jinko jeans coming back, I think in general people have 50s nostalgia, and we're about to that time. So the 1950s happened, and then there was a big like 1980s wave of 50s nostalgia due to Grease and a few other what's that George Lucas film that came out in the 70s. It essentially started another 1950s wave of like interest, and we're like right on timeline to do another wave of that for just like the regular people. So anything that connects that time, I feel like is going to be like old radio plays, the old music, the like people will play the old. I mean, and I'm talking like nobody does this, and I'm the only one. But people play like the old Fallout soundtracks to like study to, or just to listen to casually. Like that's a very, very common thing. And so
Dave,
them capitalizing on that nostalgia, I think is great.
I think that's a brilliant idea. I think that I have now a brilliant idea as well. I think you and I need to form a band, a 1950s style band called the Stray Cats 2.
The Stray Cats 2. What would we do in the Stray Cats 2?
We would cover Stray Cats versions of 1950 songs.
You're lucky right now that my trumpet is out of reach. However,
you can get up, Dave.
A trumpet player. They had a guitarist, a bassist, and a drummer.
Let's get a little snare. Let's get a little
only
of
a
that.
snare and a crash.
Oh,
let's get the mandolin out here, and we'll.
Oh man,
everybody loves jazz. So best way to play jazz is right here in the mandolin.
Jazz Delin. Oh, okay, wait. I got it then. And we're gonna go back even further. We're going back 1920s, 30s, and we're doing Django Reinhardt cover band with a mandolin instead of a violin, and then I'll go find a banjo instead of a guitar. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's old time. That's old time jazz. That's like it's like ragtime situation. Like that's like old. It's Maple Leaf rag. Yeah, well, gypsy jazz is great. That's great to cook to.
Yeah, man.
It makes me feel like I'm in Ratatouille. Where are we? What are we doing? Where have we gone?
I've run out of Fallout topics.
We need a little more Louis Armstrong kind of sound. Get some of that going.
Yeah.
I see trees are green. I smoke a pack a day.
I'll do.
I'm gonna drink tonight.
All right, I'm clipping that one.
We've just lost the last 2 listeners of this podcast. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think that effing chat. Let's see if we got anybody in call waiting.
We do. We have 2 people.
Oh, we do. Oh, that's fun.
Cool. All right. What's the topic for call waiting?
I think we were talking about custom worlds.
For call waiting. Yeah, let's do custom worlds. What kind of custom world would you make?
All right, let's grab Spike.
Yeah. I like that one.
Oh, hey.
Hello, Spike. You're live with Dave and the Chafins, the Tomcat, and me, Chuck.
Dave and the Chafins? Wait, you're Chuck?
I'm just Chuck, man.
Hey, Spike Johnson. Welcome to the show.
Good day to you, gentlemen.
So, what do you think, custom worlds?
Ooh. What don't I think?
I just realized I ripped you out of the game thinking you were in call waiting. Really, you were just in a regular gameplay channel. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
That's hilarious. Oh, that's hilarious.
We weren't really talking about anything. It's good. We're good. But yeah.
So here's the question. Mm-hmm. If you were to create your own custom world and you could do anything, what would you do?
Oh gosh. Get rid of Ward.
just a single world. Everything is the same. There's just there's no war.
I would love to expand the idea of the treehouse village. The retreat. I think it's such a unique concept in the Mire, and I wish that to do a little bit more with that. Expand on it.
Have like a proper city out there.
That's a good idea.
There's tons of trees,
Well, and the worlds that we make are gonna be like searchable, right? So like you could be like expanded treetops.
Oh yeah.
And just like that it's like your own like little theme park you got going on,
Oh yeah. No, I would totally love that. It would even be way more awesome if we could get something like an elevator, like they had in Fallout 4.
Yeah, that was such a cool feature.
Well, a wooden one, of course, because that would fit the theme a bit more. But yeah, I mean, any elevator right now would do the part.
We need some of that atomic shop elevator.
What if ladders showed up in the atomic shop?
Oh,
we're not ready for that. The servers can't handle it, Tom.
That's too far. Okay.
It's Creation Engine 2. We're on Creation Engine 1.
So Spike.
Yes.
Wackiest idea you can come up with.
Oof. Add another Daguerre. No, I don't know, really. Wackiest idea. Oh, Lord.
If you could create a nightmare hellscape for dupers that you could banish them to, what would happen in that world, and what would be their consequence?
Yeah, what's the punishment?
Like, almost like purgatory, hell-ish for dupers. Yeah, that would probably be a world full of spikeboard traps, and they get launched every single time by not being able to move, not doing nothing.
I just had an idea.
Constantly.
What if every 5 minutes you know the thing that happens when you like are desyncing from a server and all of a sudden you glitch and then you're back like 10 steps from where you were?
Oh yeah.
Every 5 minutes you just go back to where you were 5 minutes ago.
Just constant rubber banding.
Yeah, constant, but like intermittent rubber banding, so you're never quite sure if it's like a connection problem or, you know, you're being trolled.
The strings sound effect that plays just before the new kits could play just before you rubber band.
Mm-hmm.
The tension music.
I like that.
Well,
I like how we're all just like encouraging each other to come up with ways to punish people today. I like the punishment crew.
Sometimes you just need a good punishment.
I'm just trying to play the game, Dave.
Oh, well, thanks for joining us.
Let's go.
You have any other thoughts?
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to yeet you back into gameplay.
Oh, don't worry. I mean, I can hang out here, whatever you want.
Thank you for your call.
Here's what we're gonna do. All right, here's the pitch.
We're gonna kidnap random people in voice.
Yeah, we're gonna make a server, and you're just gonna be kidnapped and put into our show, and you're like, whatever you're doing at that moment, it just stops, and you're on the show now. Like, if I had that power, I mean, that would be fantastic.
That's almost like a little Ray Bradbury kind of horror sci-fi. You're just out there in '76, and then all of a sudden, you're live on the Fallout Hub. But will you survive the Fallout Hub?
Who is this? Where are you?
Well, and it's funny because it's like you didn't start with your live the Fallout Hub. You started with your spiel where you're like, "Welcome, caller, it's me." It's like, what if that got put into the situation? Oh man. God. What a day. What a day. What a day it's been. What a
world. What a world. What a life.
What are the other thoughts? We're speaking about servers and custom servers in general. I am interested in like taking a city like you know, like Diamond City is like a converted baseball field, and they've taken it and they've made it into like a city, hence Diamond City. I would like to do that with other locations in the game and just make a server that's like, oh, this is like, you know, converted flatwoods, and there's more, you know, wastelandy stuff there. It's like taking the bones of an area and kind of build it back up. That would be cool. Yeah. I would want to do that for Charleston, or for, you know, some of these locations that a lot of people don't go to. And it's like, what would that look like in like that like Fallout 4 style where it's taken it and built upon. I think that's a cool thing for builders, I think, to do. And then you can advertise that and be like, rebuilt Charleston or rebuilt Morgantown, or, you know, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I love your idea that you had at the beginning, because that might be actually kind of fun to do as a competition. But to have a 4v4, kind of like a capture the flag, so everyone can build up this ridiculous base in a certain period of time, and then you have to get the other person's flag. That would be fun.
That would be
I think that's perfect.
Or like what Fortnite originally was, where you build a base and have to defend against waves of enemies attacking the base that can actually break the stuff in the base, and you have like a budget.
That's mostly what survival mode when they had it was mostly like me and a friend or two that would hang out in my camp that was like built with the defenses and had all the turrets. And you know that scene in Monty Python where you have the French guys that are like, ho ho ho, and they're patting themselves in the hats. You know what I'm talking about? That was pretty much us. It's just like taunting people to come near the base, and then there's like rocket turrets plus our.
I felt in your general direction.
You English nigget. English? Then what are you? I'm French. Can't you tell by my outrageous accent? Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm down with that. I'm down with that stuff. I would love to hear any of our listeners' thoughts on some of these crazy ideas that they are thinking about actually implementing in game, and also some of the wacky ones.
Yeah.
What about
there's a lot of creative people.
What do you guys think about the look ahead? So the next big update that we're going to get, we'll be seeing some new events. So we know that aliens are coming to the game in some fashion, where we're going to have to work together. It's a server-wide event, kind of like the Queen. So Tom has become History Channel.
Do it one more time. Do it one more time for the podcast listeners.
You have to say it's aliens at the same time.
You do. Get the hair going.
Basically, it's aliens.
Dave has bigger hair than I do.
I do. Hang on. Let me get my Conan and Brian.
Raise the roof, Chafins.
Aliens.
That's, yep.
Aliens.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. You're getting there.
The Django bus is coming. All right. Anyways, I think Bunnycott's in the chat. I think that's a real thing. That somebody actually wanted to come to the call waiting today.
Oh, damn!
It's our lovely and dear friend Bunnycott, and I think he has some stuff to talk about. So I think now we're going to not steal him. We're going to put him where he wants to be.
We're gonna put him where he belongs. Bunnycott. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, Bunnycott. Here we are. What do you got to say?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
We're having a day here, man.
I can tell.
We're having quite the day. It's quite the time. You've come on the chaotic windstorm that is today. My hair is askew now, Tom. You've made my hair askew. What are
your hair is correct now.
Oh, maybe.
You're on 76.1, the storm.
Bundycott, what is what's a world idea you have?
World,
what would you make for? I mean for Fallout, not real world. But I mean, if you have any ideas,
I have ideas for both.
Okay.
What does Bundycott's world look like?
So, picture this, guys. Have you ever watched the show Takeshi's Castle?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Tom, you need.
Oh, what is this?
Go on YouTube, Google or YouTube Takeshi's Castle. It's this Japanese game show where they just get up to absolute madness. I want that to both happen in real life again and also in Fallout. And now that we have custom worlds, we can do this massive, crazy, big game show thing with unlimited building. Do all these crazy stuff.
I see this now. I didn't. I know of these crazy Japanese game show things, where people do crazy stuff, but I don't know that I've ever seen this one. I'm going to now fall down a YouTube hole. Thank you.
While you're down there, look up Long Man.
Oh God. What, is Dave muted? Dave?
No, I'm just thinking about things
broke
to look up
Dave.
while
His
you're
mouth
down
was
there,
moving, but there were no words.
Sometimes that happens. Dave is officially a mannequin.
I'm just a mannequin. Yeah, I'm a mannequin. My former self after that aliens bit. I think that's a good idea, Bunnycott, of coming up with these kind of wild, crazy game shows and having it be crazy stupid gauntlet.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I think it just allows for more content creation with the custom worlds, because on the adventure there's so much limitation when it comes to building and getting people in and stuff. So yeah, that'd be great.
This is episode 1.
Oh, is someone on Takeshi's Castle?
Hello.
Oh no! Oh Tom, no!
You don't even have the English narrator. What are you doing? He brings the charm and personality to the show.
This translates really well for audio for you to see the kind of game show experience that Tom's watching.
I'm glad that you could join us today.
Here we go. Okay, there's guys getting shot with water, and they're on a wall. Oh, they just got disqualified. Red team. Yeah.
Tom, that's enough. That's enough. It's enough. Where's my gavel? I only have a fork. Bang, bang.
People are unsubscribing in droves today. They barely even talk about Fallout anymore. I'm so sick of this crap.
They're talking about some Japanese game show. What's going on?
Tom's on drugs
Japanese
now.
Game shows.
That guy was
Dave uses fork to corral people into getting back on topic. This is called the on topic fork. It has some leftover egg from this morning on it.
This guy's climbing across a rope.
Have you been to try and get the show back on track here, Buddycott? Have you been playing around in PTS?
I have not. I still need to download it and check it out. Is it like the full custom world, like customization stuff?
Yeah.
So
the public worlds, they've been rotating that through weekly. So the different modes that we'll get monthly, they've been spinning up faster so we can just play around in them. I played around in Quantum Worlds, and then I created a few custom worlds. I do have to say, if you turn it up to like a ridiculously hard mode, the nuclear mode, I was getting instantly one-shot by everything, which, to be perfectly fair, isn't too different than what you normally see happening to me on stream anyway.
Nice. I like the idea that they're bringing back somehow or somewhat like the survival mode as well, and like the rotation of the public custom worlds. I think that's one of them, right?
Yeah,
is a similar survival thing. Yeah.
Yep. Where
that's
it's
cool.
PvP always on, no fast travel at all, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So no camping at train stations.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
How it's like when you're streaming the game and you're not doing very well and you act like you have house guests over to your house and your house is clean, but you're acting like it's dirty. It's like, guys, this room is a mess. It's just a mess. And really, like for Twitch, it's like, guys, I'm just sucking today at this game. I can't play it. When really it's perfectly fine. But you always feel a little bit embarrassed about that. Or maybe I'm just like, equating this to my old Southern Lady charm that I have.
Southern Lady charm?
You have old Southern Lady
my Southern Lady charm. Yeah, when people come around my house, I'm a weirdo, and I'm like, "Would you like a tour of the house?" And I go to, and I'm like, I joke that says that I'm gonna make an audio.
Would you like a mint julep, honey? Honey child.
You offer the adults mint juleps and the children Werther's original.
I got a Werther's original here in my candy dish. I'll give you a little piece of candy there. Go take that to the dollar store on the corner and have yourself a nice time.
What?
These Werther's originals are the originals from the 1970s. They've been in this.
Dave is officially an 85-year-old woman from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, speaking of candy that sits out really long, we went to the store where you buy the stuff for your birthdays, for your decorations and stuff, and they've got these
Party City.
Party City. When's Party City? Go to your local Party City because this is going to freak you out. The little poles that they use to create the little path that you have to go down in order to check out. You know what I'm talking about? The little ropes. There's these little poles. They're little plastic poles. They're about 3 inches diameter, and they're full of gumballs. And those gumballs have got to be years old. That's super gross. How do they not have ant problems?
That's pretty gross.
That's always wondered. There's a lot of places in I'm gonna drive it a little bit closer to the topic. There's always places in West Virginia that you go into that are like old gas stations or something that have those old timey like there's like bubbles with the turn, so you put the quarter in and turn the little thing and then you get the gumball. And there's so many candy options nowadays. They're like mint and dark chocolate Kit Kat combination mocha. And so there's things that people would rather have rather than the gumball from the Strange Machine. But those gumballs have been sitting in there. And I'm very curious about how often that gumball machine is cleaned and whether or not those gumballs that have been sitting in there are just from like 1972.
I like how Bundycott's just quietly sitting and listening to us. Like he's sitting in the back of the bus with the crazy people and he's really just trying to get to his bus stop.
He's like, don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact.
I'm just gonna bury my face in this newspaper and pretend like everything's fine.
Just plug in
this
the
has turned into
headphones.
1 a.m. in the bar, where like it's like you're ready to go home, but your friends are still talking to you about absolutely nothing, and you're just like, oh yeah, I agree, yeah, gumball machines are dirty, yeah, of course. It's like go to Party City, get yourself some string, like, and then you're ready to go.
So thanks for joining us, Bundicott.
I was going to be like, well, anyway, I'm just going to
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great time.
Have a good
It's
day.
been a pleasure. I will say it has been a pleasure.
Enjoyed Takeshi's Castle, Tom. Have a great show, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Will do. Thank you. All right. Well, hey guys, I feel like we've covered everything. Is there anything else that we need to cover?
I don't think Tom. There's nothing else.
Did you see
I
the
think
new
we've
Ghostbusters trailer?
covered.
That's pretty cool.
The Ghostbusters trailer was pretty cool. Let's see them not screw it up this time. It was great. Let's wrap up the show.
All right. So
well, hang on. I got one
he does have
other.
something else.
I
He
got
does have a
one other thing to say.
All right. Go on.
So if you happen to see the Interplay Twitter account that just appeared and is like, hey, we're getting ready to make a big announcement. Get ready. It's not real. They set up, I don't know, we're trying to figure out what the point of this is. Like they went so far as creating like an Interplay website on a free website maker. So like it has the pop-up, like I think it's a Wix footer to the site. They got a lot of.
I'm using Google. Who owns them?
Well, now it's.
I don't get the purpose. Like, what is the point?
I don't know. But it started this whole conversation now about like, well, you know, we about wanting like more Fallout that isn't Fallout 76, and it's like started this whole discussion online.
Sure. Yeah. And of course people do.
Yeah.
Like surprise. People want actual other Fallout games? What?
That's crazy.
You're crazy. That's nuts. Like, well, yeah, we do. Like,
it is wild to me that there's not like there's a lot of stuff for Elder Scrolls. Like there is the plethora of games that are already there. There's Elder Scrolls Online. There's Elder Scrolls Legends. There's probably there's Elder Scrolls Blades that's on the phone. Right now, we only have the mainline games, Fallout 76 and Fallout Shelter. It feels like that there should be
a card
something
game.
A
more.
card game.
I mean, that would be cool. I'm not, I could get involved in a card game, I could get involved in that. Mm-hmm. There should be something more. Maybe
like a Pokemon.
I would like to see it.
Fallout.
Pokemon Fallout. I would like to see a tactics game. I think that would be cool. And you could do that on the phone.
Oh my god! Oh.
Well, we know how well that went the first time, so.
Hey, well, you know what? It's been some years, Tom. I think things have evolved since what? 2004? I'm not sure what the year that was.
2004.
192,004? Yes. Things have evolved since then. So we don't know how, like, technology, if they made like an XCOM in the style of Fallout, it would be killer. It'd be killer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So don't feed the trolls. I think that's the lesson this week.
It is
don't feed the trolls and punish them, torture them and punish them in your own from the internet.
I've got a thing going on with you. We got a thing going on. We've got a thing going on. We've got a new. I'm gonna call it a YouTube series / podcast.
Yes.
Called Inside SCP Foundation. So here's the thing: if some people don't know what the SCP is, you don't need to know. Essentially, it's like a more organized creepypasta situation. You don't know what creepypasta is? That's like Slender Man. That's like some like made up internet stories about paranormal things. It's essentially what Tom has done with the Lorecast and combining in this kind of like fictional narrative element into these like 15-minute episodes that explain some of the different sightings and occurrences within this fictional organization that's trying to contain all of these paranormal entities. Essentially, what it is it's Lorecast meets X-Files, and that's how I'm gonna pitch it. And
with a really
I'm
solid
probably
80s vibe.
It's like 80s vibe. Yeah, that's great. And we're gonna do it every week. And so the first one's live on YouTube now. You can come see me and Tom play kind of wacky characters.
And on your podcasters. You just gotta search inside.
Oh yeah, on your podcast services. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's up everywhere. So you can listen to it or you can watch it. If you watch it, you get the added enjoyment of seeing our beautiful faces and Dave Chaffins being a wacky professor guy, and me being a really nervous leaker from the inside of SCP Foundation.
I hope you don't leak inside. You got anything else?
I hope I'm not leaking inside too. Now did you go back to the doctor again?
Oh no! Alarming there.
Ken, what do you have going on?
We had a bit of somberness last week. Greg Redefined, who's part of the Fallout community stream team, had a heart attack and passed away, which caught everyone really by surprise. So the community organized, and we were able to raise funds for his funeral and to lay him to rest, which was great. The overage that was raised will also go to the Trevor Foundation, which is a cause he really felt strongly about. But last Friday I didn't stream because we ended up doing a memorial march on all consoles. Shreds from the Elgato Pub hosted on Xbox, and the Countess from our Discord and Gamer Girl, who plays that's Patsy from our podcast, Jessica, did it on PS4. I think it's the most both sad and memorable thing I've ever done in this game. We ended up, we filled a server on PC, and like on Xbox, people built just tons of memorial camps, and yeah, it was sad. So that's what I was up to.
Yeah. Yeah, very solemn, but in the wake of so many of these very difficult things, the community coming together is a real positive that comes out of that. And warm thoughts to his family and everybody else who was affected by this. It's never an easy thing.
He was one of the most energetic guests we've ever had in the podcast. And even before,
yes,
because that was right when we started doing them live. And even before we were on, he was already doing like characters and like laughing about it. Like the amount of energy that he brought to the show was really fantastic. And you don't get that a lot of the time.
Yeah, Greg was hilarious. Like he could just It's like us going on and on about nothing, and then just laughing. But take us and then never turn it off. Like it's
actually funny.
Yeah, he had that level of.
It's actually funny. That's true.
Yeah, he had that level of energy. It was He will be quite missed.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I'm almost done with the next episode of our podcast. And then also, this is a little bit of community news that I'm not at all incentivized to tell you about. The QuakeCon, you can join the QuakeCon stream team. QuakeCon will be coming up next month, and you're definitely going to want to tune in for that for reasons and
multiple reasons
that you'll want to check out. But importantly, you'll be able to join the Twitch team. It's public and available for anyone on Twitch, obviously, who streams, to sign up for that. I'll tweet the link out again just so everyone has it. But if you're a streamer and you want to get involved in that, it's going to be fun. It's a ridiculous weekend of gaming and events, and it's like a digital convention almost. Like, so if you've ever attended last year, or you've done BlizzardCon or any of these other virtual conventions that'll be this year, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely tune in. I think you guys will really enjoy it. Lots of cool stuff. Yeah, awesome. I've got a cold, and so my brain's not working right. Otherwise, you can check out all the things I do at robotsradio.net. But yeah, tonight we're doing our end of the month patron episode for the Fallout Lorecast, and that's been going awesome. We've been covering a bunch of stuff from New Vegas, talking about the Nightkin, the different Nightkin in the most recent episodes. And tonight will be a chat with our patrons, which is always fun because we get to talk with some of you guys about the things that you want to talk about. And so that's good times. Plus, all the other different projects we've got at robotsradio.net and all the different shows and stuff. So go check that stuff out. Let's see. Other than that, I think that's about it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for going with us on this mental journey.
It has certainly been a mental journey.
A mental journey. So thanks for being here, everybody. We'll see you next time. Probably next 2 weeks. We'll be back, right?
We will.
Yes, I believe it will be back in the next 2 weeks. And I'm gonna check real quick while we're dragging on an episode, because here's the thing: if you stayed with us long enough, then that's great. I'm gonna read some reviews of some people that have reviewed us.
I forget.
Nice.
I forget that too. What's the date? Oh, we have a few of them. Okay, here we go. First review. I said I was gonna sing the reviews, but I'm just gonna read one review today.
You were going to sing the reviews? But now I want you to sing the reviews
song. Okay, well that's going to be next week, so you'll have to tune in next week. There's a small review that I will now read that's 5 stars. And the title of the review with no text is More Statham, Less DeVito.
Oh no.
Oh man, that's great.
So shout out to you. Let's see. Coastal Jasmine, excuse me. Coastal Jasmine. Thank you for the review. We're gonna start reading those in a time where it's less stormy. That's it.
Okay. All right.
That's all I've got.
And speaking of reviews, if you listen to the show and want to review it, please review it. Drop us.
Yeah, it does help.
I'll prepare a song.
It really helps.
It does. It does.
All right. Well, I think that's it, guys. We'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Somebody do an outro. Somebody say the last bit. Say the last bit. Give the last piece of wisdom. Ken.
Smote your anemones.
Yes.
Yeah.
See you later.
And then hold tight, everybody, because we're going to raid here as well. Let's roll that outro.
Take that, Fenwa. What you got on that?
What you got on that?
He's got a lot on that.